We see Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress. We see Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits along an elderly woman. She sits along a near the side of an elderly woman soldering piece of glass. She's busy in working soldering the piece of glass, means doing the soldering work of the glass. As her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine. Seen tongs of a machine means you have seen the machines even have hand. If you go in a press, there's a hands of a machine. I take the paper, for example, a printer. It has a stick. The paper stick to a side, and automatically ink moves onto it, and printing process is done. And the speed as the machine starts doing it one by one. Similarly, as her hands move mechanically, tongs of a machine, like the tongs of a machine, like a machine, her hands moves. I wonder if she knows the sanctity underlying the statement in your text. Okay, and what is there? The sanctity, the bangles he helps the making. Sanctity means the importance, the significance of bangles, what she's making. Okay, the symbolism of bangles, what she's making, if she is knowing or not. Okay, she's making, okay, she knows the sanctity or not, or that is the part the narrator is thinking. How what means she's in a surprise state after knowing how fast she's working. It symbolizes an Indian woman swag, suhag. Okay, so what it symbolizes, what is the symbolism of what the bangles? It symbolizes the Indian woman. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspiciousness in marriages. See, it's precious and its auspiciousness, its important increases, symbolize the lady is married. And that auspicious, the importance has been highlighted. Okay, whether she is knowing or not. It will dawn on her suddenly one day. Means this awareness, this information, this idea will suddenly come to her one day when her head is dabbed with a red wheel. Means when she married, and you know, in a married girl, the woman, they means they cover their head with a red color. Means this woman's chunni or odhani, whatever we say in Hindi or Odia, the red wheel is that symbolism. And when she will cover it, and her hands dye with red henna, the mehendi, what we talk about, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist, she will then become a bride, and then she will become a bride, then become a girl to be married, to be ready for marriage, and she will become a bride. Like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. She had got married many years ago. The man, the lady sitting beside her. That is the okay. The lady sitting, and she still has bangles on her hand. The lady is still having bangles on her hand. Wrist, but no lights in her eyes. See, mark it down. She's wearing the wrist, symbolism of marriage. She is married. She's wearing in her hand what? The bangles, but no lights in her eyes. She has lost the working in the bangle industries, and due to which she has lost her eyesight. And the answer comes from here. एक वक्त शेर भर खाना नहीं खाया. Okay, here एक वक्त means एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया. She says in a voice drained of joy. Means the expression. See, when someone is interviewed you, asking you about you, and in the slum area, nobody asks so personally. Here the narrator visiting, and the same happiness with a drained of joy, voice drained of joy, and she expresses एक वक्त शेर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया. Here means when we take, means even she has not taken a single meal. Okay, and to fulfill, see, we take, we eat, fulfill our stomach, and sometimes even we eat more, means he has not taken the 100% amount of food what one should need in a meal. She has not ever taken in a life, even a meal, means as per our minimum requirement, means what we should have to fulfill our stomach. Okay, so what she's expressing, she has not even not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire life. Means one full meal in her entire life she has not even enjoyed. That's what she has ribbed. Means she is in a pain, she is saddened, and she is in a rib, she is in a very disheartened situation. That is the condition of these slum people. Okay, and this is the condition of slum people. And her husband, on an old man with a flower, flowing beard, means he is having a long beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. Means whatever he is doing, that is one job, one thing, one talent, we can say, to make bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. One thing he has done in his life, he has made a what, uh, house to live in. That's a big achievement what he has done. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. Means such kind of people are there in that Firozabad. Even they did not get success of making what, a house. So there's a big deal, and making a thatched house and just a roof over the head. Man, that is the basic thing he has made it. So he has a roof over his head for the survival in the problem situation, in the summer, in the cold, in the winter, in the rain. They had a roof. And other people, imagine if even they don't have a roof over their head, and the conditions, weather conditions, how these people will be living, what would be their social, means what would be their uh, life, how it is, a big question mark in front of us. The And then narrator moves on to the people asking the cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles. They don't have anything, they don't have money. The cry of not having money to do anything except sorry, carry on the business of making bangles. They don't have any options to carry on the making, and they only think what they do it to make bangles, and they go on. And not even enough to eat rings in every home. With doing this job, they don't get minimum thing in each and every home to eat. That is a pathetic condition. Understand how the pathetic condition of the poor people, and they are in the poverty state. The young men echo the lament of the elders. See, we sometimes even we blame our elders that did not do anything. We are not getting the chance. The young men echo the lament of the elders. The little have has moved with time. It seems in Firozabad. Little change has been happened in Firozabad. Years of mind numbering toil have killed, or underline this in a line in your text. Years of mind numbering have toil have killed or initiative the ability to dream. Underline this line, it's important. Just try to understand what it connects here. See, for example, you might be knowing when different kind of strikes, different kind of what we say happenings and dangas and everything happens. The politicians, bureaucrats, the big people, what they do, they use this kind of people, the poor people. They give them money, they give them food, they give them drink, and they give them alcohol. They give them what they have did not get ever in their life, and they use this kind of people in their life. Okay, so that's the what basic thing we are able to see here. These people, they are not able to get the same thing what the others. Years of mind numbering, that kind of mind numbering has been done. Toil have killed all initiative. And see, they have been taking initiative, they have been taking a initiative to improve their condition, but this kind of rich bureaucrats, politicians, police, sahukas, all these kind of people, and they are in the trap of these people, and that's why they did not improve. So mind numbering here, playing with the minds and what work with this, and the ability to dream has been as you know, sponge we take, we when you keep in a water, it soak all the water, when you squeeze it, water comes down. So this condition happen, they have been squeezed in such a way in all sphere, in the need they use them and throw them out of their work when their use is done. So that's a clear thing you can understand easily. So the big people use them easily, and after the use is over, they kick them out. Okay, so now here the more description has been given. Why not organizers? Okay, why not organize yourself into cooperative? Cooperative means make group. Okay, and you represent in front of the government, and you represent in front of the big people, and they'll help out. But I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen. So that what I was explaining you, I asked the I asked a group of young men who had fallen into the vicious stage of vicious uh, circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. That had already happened with them. They trapped their fathers and forefathers. Their fathers and forefathers were trapped. They were dragged into this situation. Even if we get organized, even if they try to get organized, we are the one who will be hauled up by the police if they get organized to settle up in their life. But what will happen? Some situation, these poor people are dragged. Okay, and finally their destination is into the jail, and they get illegal and the poor bad treatment from the police. There is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. There's no one to show them a path for growth. Their fathers are as tired as they are. Okay, their fathers are as tired as they are. Their father are also sick of with the situation. They are not able to do the thing, and they're not able to take the improvement, and they're not able to do anything with this condition. And that okay, so their father are as tired as they are. They talk endless in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy, to greed, to injustice. What happened there? They talk endless. What happened? People comes to them. Yeah, they are not the out of reach of the people. They talk endless in a spiral, means spirally, as they move around. Okay, move around. See, as the kids are holding in around circular way. So that moves from poverty to apathy. From poverty, they move in such a kind of visual sympathy. It's like means it's a synonym to of we saw that, yeah, they are in a really in a state of poverty, to apathy, and to greed. Then, and that becomes their greed, and then that becomes their injustice, and there's no justice for these poor kids. Listening to them, I see two distinct world. Underline it. Listening to them, the narrator is expressing it. I listen to them. After listening them, I see two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a wave of poverty. One, the family caught in a wave of poverty. Okay. Another burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The stigma of caste means which family they have gone, what the grandmother of Mukesh was referring, where they are born, the family they are born. The other of VCS circle of the Shahukars, and other one is the VCS circle of Sahukars, who is ruling the society. One, they are the VCS circle of the Sahukars, and the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politician who hold the society. And according to them, society moves on, not these poor people, to society where the truth phase we're able to see, and what we think these poor people cannot achieve in their life, because they are being what toiled up, they have been pulled up, they have been dragged up by the society rulers, that the shahukas, middlemen, policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and politicians. Together, they have imposed a baggage on the child that he cannot put down. We have seen the thing when we impose something. Okay, we just imply, we just force of something. And what is the condition here? Together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. So much pressure have been given to the kids here, and that cannot they cannot overcome from the pressure, and due to which they're in the same state, they cannot improve in their life. Before he is aware, he accept it as naturally as his father. So as the father was in the same state, bangle makers, he was making bangle, and similarly the child is in the same condition. He have to do something for his survival. Okay, otherwise he'll be pulled by police. To do anything else, he would mean to dare, and doing something different means daring. And daring is not part of growing up, and underline it here. Daring is not part of growing up. Doing something is means daring. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. Means here he is able to see some kind of flash, some kind of reflection, some kind of light in the eye of Mukesh. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He is repeating, he want to be a motor mechanic. Means there's a dream. He's trying to do something different out of Firozabad. Means out of Firozabad means Firozabad means bangle makers. Means he want to break the tradition. He is dreaming. He want to do something. He want to help. Means he want to guru. He want to be free from the tradition. What was going on? He want to be independent. What we can say. Okay, and what you want to become? He want to become a motor mechanic. Underline the statement here. The chapter opens with the same line. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He means that confident he have, he will go to a garage and learn what is the desire, and that's a dream. What he is dreaming to be, he want to be a motor mechanic, and he will learn going to garage. But the garage is long away from his home, and it's quite in a distance. I will walk, say enthusiasm, the energy to move. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? Is a question mark here. Okay, what is asking by the who is asking this? The narrator Anik Jung is asking, do you also dream of flying a plane? So there's a proverb in Hindi, jitni badi chadar ho, utni badi pair fella. Same kind of answer the boy is answering here. So it's a small boy, but he's having a very big mindset. Okay. And he's having a very big set of mind, and he's answering in a very different style. He remains silent. He's suddenly silent. He's not answering. Okay. See, no, he says, staring at the ground, and he's staring at the ground in a very courteous way. He's answering. In his small murmur, there's an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He's not regretting he cannot do it. He's not regretting he cannot do it, but his sense of humor. You can see how he is. His answer is he's content to dream of cars. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town, and see what he can see as per his standard, as per his what as per his standard. He is able to see the cars, and he can dream to get it. And dreaming something going to the sky, it's not possible at all, because as per his level, as per his standard, he cannot get it. But dreaming to be a motor mechanic, he can achieve this dream. So his answer was very thoughtful. The small boy means poverty-stricken boy, but with a very thoughtful idea, very dream that cannot be means unstoppable, that cannot be stopped. He's having enthusiasm to get something. He's content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the street of his town. Few airplanes fly over Firozabad, and he's able to see few airplanes fly over the Firozabad. Means see how the answer is. He's saying that he can see very few aeroplanes fly over the Firozabad, and most often he can see cars moving in the streets. So that's why he's dreaming to be a motor mechanic, not the airplane mechanic. Okay, not the airplane engineer, whatever you can say, but his dream to be a motor mechanic. and here comes to an end of the text. That is lost spring, 2 characters. One is Mukesh and Sahib. I hope I'm able to get you the chapter as per things mentioned here, and I hope you all have understood it. Okay, so the question answers from the text I will ask you to practice, and the extra questions I'll be sharing you soon through the WhatsApp, and I need the answers to be done, and I will be sharing me in WhatsApp. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box quickly. I'll be answering up, and then we'll end of our today's session. So quickly write it down if you have any doubt, and I'll look into it. Then we will go. We'll end our class today. If you have any doubt, you can write it down your doubts here. Otherwise, I will end my session here. No, no message is coming. I'll wait for a minute or two. If I see there is no doubt, then I'll end my session here and my class here. And I'll ask the questions given in a text. You help yourself with those questions. Try to complete those questions. Go for practicing, and I'll give you some extra questions in our next class. Okay, and I want you practicing those questions, and it will be more helpful for you to be for your preparation for your examination. Okay, so we'll be discussing that. So no doubt, so that I'll end my session here. Thank you all of you, and best of luck. Prepare your questions and answers and give me through WhatsApp, and I can look into it physically later on when the time gets normal. Thank you.